from garage to global giant, the genesis of Apple. In the heart of Silicon Valley, a legend was born. It was 1976. Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne came together. Their goal, to build a personal computer, not a machine for corporations, but for everyone. Their workshop, the humble garage of Jobs' family home. This unassuming setting would become the birthplace of a global giant Apple computer company. Jobs, the visionary, saw the potential of personal computing. Wozniak, the engineering genius, possessed the technical brilliance to make it a reality. Their partnership, though often tumultuous, would change the world. The Apple I, their first offering, was a bare-bones circuit board. It was a far cry from the sleek devices of today, yet it held the DNA of Apple's future success. The Apple I was a modest start, but it attracted attention. Hobbyists and early adopters recognized its potential. It demonstrated the power of putting computing power in the hands of individuals. The seeds of a revolution had been sown. Apple, fueled by the passion of its founders and the promise of a new era in technology, was poised to disrupt the status quo. The Apple I had been a promising start, but it was the Apple II that truly launched Apple into the public consciousness. Released in 1977, the Apple II was a revelation. Unlike its predecessor, it came with a case, keyboard, and color graphics. It was user-friendly and accessible, making it appealing to a wider audience. The Apple II was an instant success. It became synonymous with the burgeoning personal computer market. Schools embraced it, businesses adopted it, and families brought it into their homes. It was more than just a machine, it was a gateway to a new world of possibilities. The success of the Apple II propelled Apple to new heights. It went public in 1980, becoming one of the most valuable companies in the world. Jobs and Wozniak became icons, their faces gracing magazine covers. Apple had captured the zeitgeist, riding the wave of the personal computing revolution. The impact of the Apple II was profound. It democratized technology, making it accessible to the masses. It inspired a generation of entrepreneurs and innovators. And it laid the foundation for Apple's future triumphs and challenges. The 1980s saw Apple continue its rise, but also face new challenges. IBM entered the personal computer market, posing a serious threat. Jobs, never one to shy away from a challenge, set his sights on a new goal: to create a computer that was not just powerful but also beautiful and intuitive. The result was the Macintosh. Launched in 1984 with a groundbreaking Super Bowl commercial, the Macintosh was unlike anything the world had ever seen. It featured a graphical user interface, a mouse, and a focus on ease of use. It was a radical departure from the command line interfaces of the time. The Macintosh was a critical and commercial success, solidifying Apple's reputation for innovation. It introduced the world to desktop publishing, revolutionizing the way documents were created and shared. It showcased the power of graphical interfaces, paving the way for future operating systems like Windows. The Macintosh was more than just a computer, it was a statement. It declared that technology could be both powerful and elegant, both functional and beautiful. It was a testament to Jobs' vision and Apple's commitment to pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Section 4. Dark Days in Cupertino. Apple's struggle for survival. The Macintosh's success, however, was not enough to prevent turmoil within Apple. Clashes between Jobs and Apple's CEO John Sculley led to Jobs' ouster from the company he had founded. The following years were difficult for Apple. The company struggled to find its footing, facing stiff competition from Microsoft's Windows operating system. Apple released a string of products that failed to capture the public's imagination. Its market share dwindled and its stock price plummeted. The company that had once been synonymous with innovation seemed to have lost its way. By the mid-1990s, Apple was on the brink of collapse. Many industry analysts predicted Apple's demise. The company seemed unable to compete in a market it had helped create. Its products were seen as overpriced and out of touch with consumer needs. The magic, it seemed, had gone out of Apple. However, even in its darkest hour, a glimmer of hope remained. Apple still had a loyal following of customers who believed in its products and its vision. And, unbeknownst to many, a plan was being hatched that would see the return of its prodigal founder and a dramatic reversal of fortune. Section 5. The Second Coming. Steve Jobs returns to Apple. In 1997, in a move that would change the course of technological history, Steve Jobs returned to Apple. The company he had founded was a shadow of its former self, but Jobs' return brought with it a renewed sense of purpose and direction. He immediately set about streamlining Apple's product line, cutting unnecessary projects and focusing on a handful of core products. Jobs' return was met with a mixture of skepticism and cautious optimism. Could he really save Apple from itself? Could he reignite the spark of innovation that had made the company great? The answer, it turned out, was a resounding yes. Jobs' first order of business was to stabilize the company. He forged a strategic partnership with Microsoft, securing a much-needed cash infusion and ensuring the continued development of Microsoft Office for Mac. He also introduced a new advertising campaign, Think Different, which celebrated Apple's legacy of innovation and challenged the status quo. With the company on more solid footing, Jobs turned his attention to product development. He believed that Apple had lost its way by focusing too much on technology for technology's sake. He wanted to create products that were not just powerful, but also simple, elegant, and easy to use. Products that would improve people's lives. Products that were, in a word, magical.